Hello everybody, my name is Félicie Dhellemmes and today I will tell you a little bit about the project that I'm doing with the Bimini Biological Field Station looking at sharks' personality. But first of all, let me introduce you to what animal personality is. Here are two videos of two different juvenile lemon sharks. They've been put in those circular enclosures, and in the middle of these enclosures we have placed an object that they have never seen before. Now, if you look at the behavior of those two individuals, you will notice that the shark on the left is very interested in this novel object and is investigating it, whereas the other one is doing its best to avoid it. If we were to give these sharks a score for how attracted to novelty they are, the shark on the left would get a much higher score than the shark on the right because it's way more attracted to novelty, right? Now, if we redid the same experiment a few weeks later, the shark on the left would still have a much higher score in attraction to novelty than the shark on the right. And that is what animal personality is. It is the fact that an animal's behavior is consistent, and therefore, in a test like the one I've just showed you, you would be able to predict an animal's score based on its scores in the past. There are two main reasons why I think this is fascinating. First, from an ecological standpoint, it does not seem to make a lot of sense for an animal to be predictable in its behavior if it's trying to catch prey or to avoid predators. Also, you would expect that an animal can adjust its behavior to the ecological conditions it's in. For example, be attracted to novelty when novelty is not dangerous and novelty is very rewarding, and be avoiding novelty when novelty is dangerous and not rewarding. So we don't fully understand why animals would have personality in the first place, and that's incredible. The second reason why this is fascinating is because it can have implications for conservation. It is a critical concept that we need to integrate with conservation. If certain sharks are indeed more likely to be attracted to novelty, they might be more susceptible to fishing, for example. But these same sharks, if they're more attracted to novelty, they might also be better at finding new food sources and at growing faster, or they might be better at finding sexual partners and have more offsprings. So our fishing activities might unintentionally target these very productive individuals, and that's why animal personality is a concept that's important for conservation in the future. In order to study animal personality, a scientist has to observe multiple individuals in a captive test, but not only once. They have to do it multiple times in order to find this consistent behavior. And of course, this is much easier to do on your captive aquarium fishes than it is to do on grizzly bears. And so the vast majority of animal personality studies have been done on small captive animals, and very little is known about the causes and consequences of personality in the wild. And this is the knowledge gap that with the Bimini Biological Field Station, we decided to try filling, and we used the juvenile lemon sharks as a study model. As you may know, the Bimini juvenile lemon shark population has been studied for many, many years by our founder, Doug Gruber, since the 90s. It has been the Shark Lab's main study species for many years, and we know very well how to capture them, keep them in captivity and healthy, and monitor them in the wild after release. This makes them the perfect candidates for a personality study that incorporates captive testing and wild experiments. And I think that's all for today. That's all I'm going to say about animal personality. I hope you enjoyed the little lesson.